Very good evening to you. It's 6:30. This is News Tonight live on GHOne TV with me, Natalie. A look at our top stories. Coming up tonight, Interior Minister imposes curfew on Nalerigu and its environs as violence erupts barely 2 days after the Asantehene disclosed recommendations of Boko crisis mediation. We take you live to the town as the IGP deploys reinforcement team. Also ahead, Attorney General reveals Ken Ofori-Atta hires top U.S. lawyers to fight his extradition process as government formally submits requests for the return of the former finance minister and advisor to the finance ministry to U.S. authorities.
But it means that there's going to be a fight in the federal courts.
IGP warns regional crime officers of decline in quality and success rate of crime investigations. Details as he champions urgent reforms, accountability, and renewed professionalism to restore public confidence.
Crime statistics paint a concerning picture about a decline in the quality and success rate of investigations, which undermines public trust and emboldens criminals.
Former Education Minister and 2024 running mate of the opposition NPP describes policy guiding teacher and nursing trainee allowances as unsustainable.
2024 going, or 2021 if I was there, to say that from henceforth we will give teachers loans but with 0% interest rates, and move that policy to not only teacher training colleges, to areas of training where governments want people to go.
In business, SNIT orders outdoors virtual branch providing around-the-clock services to contributors and pensioners. On the international front, Burkina Faso releases 11 Nigerian Air Force personnel detained on December 8 after their aircraft made an emergency landing. We bring you the details of these stories and much more news here on News Tonight Tuesday. Let's get into the details now. You can watch this bulletin live all across the world on Facebook and X at GHOne TV. The Ministry of the Interior has announced a curfew on Nalerigu and surrounding areas in the northeast region. In a statement posted on its official Facebook page, the ministry said the decision was taken by the Minister for the Interior on the advice of the National Security Council and by executive instrument. And that's the statement you see on your screens there. Some key sections, it mentions that the curfew has been imposed on Nalerigu Township and its environs in the northeast region from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. effective Thursday, December 18, 2025. Now, the statement further indicates that government urges chiefs, elders, opinion leaders, youth and people of the area to exercise restraint in the face of the challenges confronting them, as well as to use non-violent means to channel their energies into ensuring peace in the area. Meanwhile, there is a total ban on all persons in the Nalerigu Township and its environs from carrying arms, ammunition, or any offensive objects, weapons, and any persons found with arms or ammunition will be arrested and prosecuted. Now, meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohonu, has deployed reinforcement teams, including armored vehicles, to Nalerigu and surrounding communities in the northeast region, following the burning of 2 houses by some youth in the regional capital and threats of further attacks on residents and property. The deployment is aimed at restoring calm, protecting lives and property, and strengthening security in the affected areas, as well as ensuring strict enforcement of the curfew imposed by the government on Nalerigu and its environs. In addition, the reinforcement teams will support the Northeast Regional Police Command to intensify security patrols along major highways to guarantee the safety of commuters. The police have assured the general public and residents of Nalerigu in particular that investigations into the attacks and arson are ongoing, adding that all individuals involved will be arrested and brought to justice. Now let's engage with a local reporter in Nalerigu, Jadam Yao Boache, for more on this. Good evening to you, Yao. Now, what more can you share from Nalerigu following this development?
Okay, a very good evening to Charles viewers. This evening, as we speak, the IGP deployment of the police service, the reinforcement have arrived in the region, and I must confirm that the people are adhering to the directive by the Interior Minister. As we speak, everybody is in. They are all indoors, observing the curfew. And also the victim, the chief was affected this morning, who had his home burnt beyond recognition this morning. Have some security at the resident, making sure that no further distractions are ongoing at that place. The place is calm. Everybody is indoors, and they are observing the curfew as instructed by the Interior Ministry.
Very well. Now, Yao, can you provide some further insights into the violence that erupted? Specifically, when and how did it begin? What investigations have gone on so far?
What prompted this unfortunate incident this morning, we cannot confirm, because speaking to the Northeast Regional Police PRO, they indicated that they are also investigation is ongoing, and they are also not privy to exactly what prompted the attack and the subsequent burning of one of the elders of the Nairi. So we are all folding our arms and waiting for what investigations that the police will be doing. But interacting with the people outside, there some are also in shock, and they are not ready to reveal or tell exactly what caused the burning and then the attack.
Right. Now, Yao, if I heard you clearly, did you mention any deaths so far?
No, there wasn't any death recorded. I was only saying that the police are conducting investigation into the issue, and we are waiting to hear from them what the outcome will be.
Very well. Thank you for your time this evening. Jadam Yao Boache, a local reporter joining us from Nalerigu. We'll certainly be keeping our eyes on developments there and bring you more subsequently here on GHOne TV. Let's turn to other top stories this evening. The government of Ghana has formally requested the extradition of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and his alleged accomplice, Ernest Darko Akore, from the United States to face prosecution over alleged corruption and related offenses committed during Ofori-Atta's tenure from 2017 to 2024. This was disclosed by Attorney General and Minister for Justice Dr. Dominic Ayeni at the Government Accountability Series, who said the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has slapped the former finance minister with 78 charges and anticipates Ofori-Atta's return to account for his stewardship. Abdul Hanan Adam has more in this report.
I wish to take a moment to announce that I have formally transmitted the request for the extradition very experienced lawyers to, defend him. Now, I'm not afraid at all. All right? I am not afraid at all. But it means that there's going to be a fight in the federal courts.
The AG also assured the accused will receive fair treatment if he surrenders to return voluntarily.
On behalf of the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have taken the requisite steps to bring him to Ghana to face trial. And if I were him, this is his home. He should just join the next flight and come here. Under my watch, he will not be treated unfairly. My case. So this whole debate about how much was transferred or not is of no moment to me. From a purely criminal law point of view, it is of no moment to me.
Attorney General Dominic Ayini speaking there. We do apologize for the loss of sound in some sections of that report. We will play it again right here on News Tonight on GHOne TV. In other news, the Inspector General of Police has sounded a strong warning over what he describes as a disturbing decline in the quality and success rate of crime investigations in Ghana. Addressing the opening of a two-day conference for regional crime officers in Accra, IGP Christian Tete GHOne called for urgent reforms, accountability and renewed professionalism to restore public confidence in the Ghana Police Service.
At a high-level gathering of regional crime officers in Accra, the leadership of the Ghana Police Service confronted what it described as unacceptable downward trend in crime investigations. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete GHOne, said crime statistics point to declining investigative outcomes, a development that weakens public trust and emboldens criminals.
Our crime statistics paint a concerning picture about a decline in the quality and success rate of investigations, which undermines public trust and emboldens criminals. This trend is unacceptable, and we must take collective responsibility for reversing it.
The IGP further stressed that investigative excellence is not optional, but lies at the core of policing. He charged crime officers to take ownership of the quality of cases handled under their supervision.
By way of supervising investigators in the discharge of their duties, poor performance and misconduct of investigators must be reported to the administration for further action.
The police chief also acknowledged systematic challenges confronting investigators, including heavy caseloads, limited logistics, weak forensic support, and the growing sophistication of crime.
These realities demand that we modernize our investigative approach. You are advised to seek assistance to organize internal training for investigators in forensic investigations, cybercrime, financial crimes, and intelligence-led policing. This will enable you to adapt to new challenges, exploit emerging trends, and stay ahead of criminals.
Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP leader GHOne, said effective criminal investigation remains the backbone of successful prosecution and justice delivery.
The success of criminal prosecution largely depends on effective criminal investigation, and the importance of both cannot be overemphasized. As crime officers, you are at the forefront of the battle of ensuring a crime-free Ghana. Your role in gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and building solid cases worthy of prosecution is crucial in the justice delivery system of our country.
The two-day conference is to provide timely education to help address the challenges that confront the fight against crime.
So live here on News Tonight on GHOne TV. We'll bring you more news shortly. Do stay. You're welcome back to News Tonight. In Insight this evening, former Education Minister in President Akufo-Addo's first term, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has disclosed that plans were initiated during his tenure to gradually phase out teacher trainee allowance payments, describing the policy as unsustainable in the long term. In an exclusive interview with EIB's Sewa Amehie Esquire, Dr. Opoku-Prempeh explained that the goal was to reform the financing of teacher education. His comments come amid renewed calls for the cancellation of teacher and nursing trainee allowances after the government earlier announced plans to replace the allowances with student loans. Dr. Prempeh stressed that any such reform must be implemented gradually to avoid hardship for trainees.
As a minister, I had already planned how we would exit training allowances. Previously, when you are enrolled as a teacher trainee, you were enrolled on the Ghana Education Service salary, payroll.
Right.
So whilst you were even in school as a teacher trainee, you got paid an allowance. And you will be interested to know that some people left school without passing the exams and still got paid because you were already fixed on the government payroll. You know how difficult it is to take people off the payroll. My next move was to make sure that we cancel what we call diploma education in this country, so that every teacher now is not a diplomate again. They don't get absent from the classroom trying to top up to degrees. Now, every teacher who is coming out was a degree student. I did a third thing. I moved all colleges of education to become university college of the public institution. Why? I was going to move all the lecturers onto the university platforms, and all the colleges decided on which university they wanted to be affiliated with. So the teachers won't be paid centrally through government, they'll go through the tertiary, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, like all university teachers. What would they do? It will upgrade the teachers who are teaching the colleges of education. If you do that, and you are both getting the same degrees, and the fourth thing I did was to make sure that the entrance qualification into the college of education is not lower than the public universities. When I did those four things, my next move would have been, because everybody was captured on the students' loan platform, the next move would have been in the winning, would have been to say that from 2024 going, or 2021, if I was there, to say that from henceforth, we will give teachers loans but with 0% interest rates. And move that policy to not only teacher training colleges, to areas of training where governments want people to go. Because if government wants more nurses, it should give incentives to get more nurses into nursing training college. If government wants more engineers, I am of the opinion that it should stay, if the emphasis is on STEM, to say every child who is going to do a STEM course will get an interest-free loan, so that more children will aspire, because it's not everybody who can afford. You understand? So I started from somewhere with a deal of getting to somewhere. It should end at a certain point.
Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh speaking earlier on GH Today there. Now, President of the Teacher Trainees Association, Divine Nani Ja, joins me now for a conversation on this issue. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining here on News Tonight. Now, it appears that we have returned to this unending debate about the sustainability of paying allowances to teacher trainees. As an association, how do you view this reasoning behind the calls for scrapping these allowances?
All right, so thank you so much, and a very good evening to your lovely listeners as well. Yes, I saw the message from the former Minister of Education. What I want to say is that yes, it is true, but then I think that those advocating for the scrapping of the allowance, in a way, are not being fair to the young ones. Simple because he made mention of certain reasons why it should be cancelled. But what, as a nation or a country, we are finding difficult to understand is that these institutions are unique institutions. Colleges of education are unique institutions. And we cannot be compared totally to the mentor universities or the traditional universities that as we are seeing. Because we are being trained to go out there to train the next generation. And for that matter, I feel like, in a way, we should be motivated. And for that matter, the allowance or the payment of the allowance should be encouraged. That is what I think.
Right. Now, Divine, you talk about fairness there, and there have been some alternative suggestions that have been made, and that is that the government scraps this allowance and offers you a loan scheme as a replacement, right? I mean, you will be aware that there are some teacher trainees who have complained about not even receiving the payment, the allowance in times past, and it's not by one particular government or administration, by both. So do you not observe there some form of a challenge that could potentially be fixed by a loan scheme as opposed to the allowance?
Yes, so as an association, we are not only thinking about the association, we are thinking about the country as well. And I believe that all of us are going to become maybe future leaders. And for that matter, it is always good we think about how better we can make the country. And so for that matter, if there are better alternatives as compared to the other ones that we are taking, why not? The conversation can be made known. We'll come together and see if indeed that will be the best options for us when the allowance maybe in a way is taken up. Until then, I want to say that the payment of the allowance must be encouraged and the payment must continue.
Divine, you say the payment must continue, but you are still open to getting on to this, having a discussion as an association concerning the loan scheme.
Yes, we are open for discussion and discussions that will go in a long way to benefit us. That's what we are looking forward to. But then I also want to make this known that in a way we cannot be compared to the traditional universities. And some people are saying that we are being treated special. And that one is true because we are unique institutions. And again, even when you go to the traditional university as we speak, the treatment that are given to the students over there varies. The treatment that they are giving to the medical students are not the same treatment that they are giving to other students, which we all know that. And again, let me also say that teacher training or colleges of education should not be the only place that when we are talking about cancellation of allowance, we should be centered to. We all know there are so many institutions in this particular country, so many organizations, whereby they are even taking salary, and even the allowances that they are taking are even more than what the teacher trainees are taking. So that's what I said earlier, that I think that those that are advocating that the allowance will be cancelled are not being fair to teacher trainees, and more especially to the young ones. If we are fighting the system, we should fight the system in general. If we are saying the allowances that are being given to the teacher trainees in a way as I believe is important, we must look at the general distance as well, whereby those people as well taking a salary and also being given allowance as well.
Now, Divine,
can also be taken up.
Right, your point clearly made. There.
Let me also say that some people are also making some comparisons that it is because of the allowances that we are taking. That is why when we complete colleges of education this time around, we are not being posted. And I want to throw this question to them that the universities, as we all know, they don't take allowances. Is it because of the student loan that when they also complete, they are not being given work or they are not being recruited? These are questions that we must all look and come together to see how best we can make the system a better one for us all.
Divine Nanija, thank you for your time this evening. President of the Teacher Trainees Association, joining us on that issue. More on it subsequently. Meanwhile, the former Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, also expressed strong confidence that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia remains the best candidate among all MPP contenders, predicting an emphatic victory in the party's upcoming flag-bearer contest. According to the party's stalwart, Dr. Bawumia's track record in government, policy experience and national appeal place him well ahead of his competitors. He says he's confident that by 7 p.m. on January 31, 2026, Dr. Bawumia will be declared NPP flag bearer once again with an overwhelming majority.
As candidate of all the NPP candidates, 31st January 2026, by 7 p.m., Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would have been re-selected with an overwhelming majority. Where I am, how much I've served this party, from student leadership, all the way to director of elections, all the way to member of parliament, to a minister at that point. If I cannot boldly tell people who admire me that of the people, 5 people standing, the one who stands tallest among them, the best prepared, the most capable, the most winnable candidate among all the lot is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Then there's a problem with me.
Now, you can get more on this interview on our website, starfm.com.gh. That wraps up Insights for tonight. In other news this evening, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has called for renewed efforts to strengthen local content in Ghana's trade and tourism sectors, urging Ghanaians to actively support homegrown industries to maximize economic returns. She made the call during separate working visits to the Ministries of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts and Trade and Industry, where she stressed the importance of patronizing local tourist destinations and prioritizing made-in-Ghana goods. According to Vice President, increased local patronage will help create jobs and stimulate the domestic market.
As part of efforts to create a good working relationship between the Vice Presidency and various ministries, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, continued her tour starting from the Ministry of Tourism, where she highlighted the need for Ghanaians to promote local tourism with its huge economic potential.
We have such variety in this country. It's amazing. From even the rivers, and we should stop polluting them. Our landscapes, flora, fauna, what don't we have? Our history. Ghana holds more than 60 of forts and castles in this space called Ghana. 60 in various shapes and forms. And the story has not even been told. There's still a lot you can excavate in this narrative.
From the Tourism Ministry, the Vice President made her next stop at the Ministry of Trade and Industry. At the ministry, the Vice President highlighted the need to promote made-in-Ghana goods and also reaffirmed government's commitment to revamp the Komenda Sugar Factory.
With the production of sugar, if you go by the entire value chain, from clearing the land to planting, to harvesting, to carting, to the whole process from the factory to even packaging and distribution, you can't count the number of jobs you create and the number of the types of expertise you'll be honing into that particular factory. We are looking at efficiency. So thank you. And I also like the comments you made about gratis. You know, they do so much. And we need to have a list of the things they can do and how they can make them better, and then cut down on the implantations.
For the Ministers of Tourism and Trade, her visit does not only demonstrate her resolve to ensure efficiency at the various ministries. The Vice President is expected to tour other ministries, including the Fisheries Ministries, by close of year. Reporting for GHOne News, Obed Kingaglu.
You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu, has issued a stern warning to traders operating on the Kaneshi footbridge to vacate the structure immediately. She says the footbridge has deteriorated and poses a danger to both traders and pedestrians, adding that authorities will not hesitate to evict traders who refuse to comply.
Addressing traders at the Kaneshi market, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu expressed concern about the poor state of the Kaneshi footbridge. She stressed that trading activities on the bridge must stop immediately to allow the government to carry out the necessary repair works, warning that enforcement actions will be taken against defiant traders.
This is a food bridge. Wow, a food bridge. We are done market way. Wow, it's a man for never. They be complaining. Say food bridge. We are turning to market. It's almost to me for her. Moreover, that is not our priority. Our priority is the bridge now with anything at all can happen. See ya Samu. Who ye near man and go inside the mine. Why?
Traders on the footbridge have expressed mixed reactions to the directive.
Baby my na yenye free na yentumi nya hodi ni we na yenton ade no mpamucho wae ahu asie mu wae ye di bronya wi amba cho mu pa bibi my wae ye hu chili ye wa wae na yenya street international yenton ade wati
can't say Christmas no o do for Christmas in chain after Christmas no so madam ba ne na kwakwe mada no ne ye ko hu kwa bebi wase ye metena no na afi de akọ.
Now that visit by the Greater Accra, the minister forms part, is ahead of Christmas festivities. And as you will be aware, Christmas does come with lots of excitement, but a lot of challenges posed as well. One key one is some commuters finding difficulty in getting transport services, for instance, from one location to the other. This is the situation at the Adabraka commercial town where my colleague Isaac Abila joins and reports live. Isaac?
Well, Natalie, please, can you hear me now?
Can hear you perfectly. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm currently at the Adabraka. So what happens is that the traffic situation has been worse, and also passengers are also struggling to get a car to go to their various places. And this is just because of the Christmas season that passengers are trying to buy so many things. And most of them to come here and then leaving late, it makes it difficult for them to get cars to go. So looking behind me, you could see that passengers are struggling to enter. And my earlier engagement with some of them suggested that they've stood here for, some of them said they've stood here for more than 2 hours waiting for a car to come. And most of them, when the car comes, it's the strong people, mostly the men who are muscular, who get the opportunity and the chance to enter because of their muscles. Mostly the women and the children who are standing here mostly are always vulnerable, and it is pushing and heckling here and there at the bus stop. Now, we will recall that a week ago, the Minister for Transport revealed that government is making steps to ensure that they secure buses to come to the Greater Accra region to ensure that they help ease the transportation crisis and the scarcity of cars here. But we are yet to see it come to fruition. But it is also worthy to note that the Deputy Transport Minister yesterday revealed that government is securing 300 vehicles from Egypt. They are ready to bring them to the country. And we believe that when these cars get to the country, when these buses get here, it will help ease the traffic situation. As you can see behind me, it is fighting and it is heckling. After a long day of selling and buying, buyers and sellers to find it difficult to get to their various houses. So from the estimation they give to me here, some say they've stood here for 2 hours. Some workers say they closed at 5 p.m. and as at 5 p.m. they were standing at the bus stop here and they are still to get a car and they are yet to get a car. So this is the situation at the moment, and we hope that when government intervenes, it will help solve this even as we enter into the Christmas season. It is just 1 week into Christmas, and we are hoping that if these cars do not come early, if these buses do not get into the country early, getting to the Christmas in the next week time, it will even be more than this. And this is the story across several bus stops that the news team visited earlier this evening. And we saw that passengers, mostly women and the children, are struggling after a long day work to get back to their various houses.
Isaac, thank you so much for the updates there. Isaac Abila joining us from Adabraka official town, where, as you saw, passengers are stranded, having been there for over 2 hours. More on that subsequently. You're watching News Tonight. We bring you business news next. In business news tonight, Deputy Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Mohammed Adams Sukparu, has expressed satisfaction with using innovation in bridging the gap between pension contribution and beneficiaries. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, outdoored a virtual branch that will bring around-the-clock services to contributors and pensioners. This marks a significant leap from seeking pension information from physical quarters to having access with minimal barriers. The platform connects gig workers, freelancers, artisans, small business owners, and digital creators to the pension system, of which will operate outside traditional employment structures.
Contributions becomes the cushion for many workers in their retirement. However, geographical barriers may inhibit some in tracking contributions made by employers. To bridge the gap, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, designed a platform to reduce the need for physical visits to SNIT offices. This enables users to complete transactions, update records, and seek support remotely. SNIT Director General Kwesi Afrobani, at the launch of the virtual branch, noted this will improve service delivery without weakening personal support.
We believe that there should never be a time that we are not accessible to employees. And through our most appropriate actions, we will serve you faithfully using our virtual branch as an instrument of accessibility in art and care. The service, ladies and gentlemen, by removing long-standing barriers such as travel time, mobility challenges, queuing at our various service centers, we are ensuring that we are not only delivering to you what we promised you, but we are delivering it to you in a manner in which is cheaper, cost-effective, and convenient to you.
Deputy Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Mohammed Adams, urged contributors and employers to use the platform to reduce both financial and operational burdens.
These investments help institutions reduce operational costs, improve service delivery, and meet the expectations of today's workers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the world of work is changing rapidly. Today, more than ever, a significant portion of Ghana's workforce participate in the gig economy, working remotely, freelancing online, and aid across multiple platforms. Over the next few years, these digital influence, mobile young professionals will constitute a major part of our national pension contributors.
The digital platform aligns with government's broader agenda to build an inclusive, technology-driven economy under the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's 24-hour economy and national reset vision.
And that's all the business news we've got for you this evening. We've got sports news coming up next.
Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Hello? Hello, Auntie Abena. You won't believe what just happened. Grandma received her 4 TVs. 4! 4 TVs? Yes, 4.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm not.
It's like a scandal now. You are using it to spread grandma like that.
Spread grandma?
4 TVs, 2 fridges, microwave. Abba, Kojo, why? Do you want to open an electrical shop for her?
Hey, no. Eh? It's a regular 100 cedis I send her.
I'm sure it's Uncle Atu.
Let's call him.
Atu? Why?
Atu?
Why are you spreading a grandma with appliances?
Me? Spread who? When? How? Please, it could be Amma.
Let's call Amma.
Let me call her.
Hello?
Amma, why?
What are you saying?
Appliances for grandma, no. Why?
Hey, it's not me, oh.
So there are some that are critical.
Let's call grandma.
Let's call grandma.
Hello?
Hey, grandma. So who is buying all those stuff for you?
Call me Granny Cash. Grandma know the joke, the luckiest. If they do me 5 years. When I buy ticket 100 cedis, I pay them small or big. I automatically get my free gift.
Yes, so with the luckiest, anytime you buy tickets up to 100 cedis, whether small or at once, you are guaranteed to win a free gift. TV sets, fridges, hampers, airtime, cash. Remember to dial *712#, choose option 4 and follow the prompt. With the luckiest, everybody wins. Even Granny Cash.
Star Assurance, I'll take care of you, never let you down, I'll always be by your side. Star Assurance, I will always love you through the years, wipe away your tears. Star Assurance, I'll be your best friend, your protector, forever and ever. Star Assurance, I will be your solid partner and strength. Star Assurance, we are more than.
There is something extraordinary happening, something you won't want.
Parliament.
The team Parliament has described the sources of funding for the sports fund bill as unreliable as the House considers the bill under a certificate of urgency. The bill was withdrawn and relayed yesterday after amendment. The sports fund bill seeks to provide a dedicated funding for sporting activities and infrastructure. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, MP for Wejagbawe, Jerry Ahmed, questioned the source of funding in the bill.
I have also heard from my colleagues that some funding is going to come from players who will be abroad, athletes who are going to come from abroad, but they are Ghanaian, diasporan athletes. Speaker, where are they going to get the money from? I have weightlifters who are from the diaspora. Speaker, I sometimes have to personally buy tickets for them to come and perform for Mother Ghana. And you are going to take money from them. Where are you going to take the money from? Speaker, the reality with sports, Speaker, is that we need to be more careful how we deal with all of this. Because
former Minister for Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, on his part, also backed calls for the government to adapt.
All of these teams have to compete internationally, and any time they are going to compete, there is huge challenge with funding. And because of that, it's important. When I was there as a sector minister, I initiated this process that my successor is working on it for us to be able to establish it. And that's why I support the call that we should establish this sports fund. I took a trip to Morocco in the processes of making sure that we bring this sports fund. And the sports lotteries was one of the areas, the good initiative that the Moroccan government, and that's why Morocco is now doing very well.
Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has also been addressing concerns by the minority.
These are not the weekly or monthly earnings of an athlete. And the laws are very clear and the records are available and verifiable. and already there's a system, speaker, in place where the mother club benefits from the transfer proceeds. Even the FA also benefits a certain percentage. Indeed, per FIFA indication, future transfers would also bring about some benefit to even the mother club. They want to even develop a system where they can trace to the amateur club where the person began. So when we talked about transfer proceeds, we are referring to the one-time payment, which is so properly arranged, and there are beneficiary agencies or angles. It's not the every week earnings of an athlete or the every month earnings of an athlete.
Chairman of the Sports Committee, Dr. Ernest Nogbe, addressed some concerns raised by the minority.
Underfunding challenges afflicting the sports sector and the limited time frame for the establishment of the fund to enable Ghana benefit from the various opportunities the 2026 World Cup tournament will provide in respect of attracting proceeds for the fund. There is no better time than now to take decisive action by passing the Ghana Sports Fund Bill 2025 into law. The committee strongly believes that taking the Ghana Sports Fund Bill 2025 under a certificate of urgency is justified, and we urge prompt consideration and passage of this critical legislation.
And that's it for us from HexPlus in Sports. Up next is International.
On the international front this evening, Burkina Faso on Wednesday released 11 personnel of the Nigerian Air Force who were detained on December 8th after their aircraft made an emergency landing. Burkina Faso's military regime, led by Ibrahim Traoré, released the personnel after meetings with a Nigerian delegation led by Tuga. The personnel included 2 flight crew members and 9 passengers. Nigeria and Burkina Faso agreed to hold regular consultations and pursue steps to deepen bilateral cooperation and regional integration. The Nigerian Air Force said last week that the aircraft was headed to Portugal for scheduled maintenance when it made the emergency landing in western Burkina Faso. According to them, the landing was done in accordance with international guidelines and standard safety procedures. The emergency landing prompted the Alliance of Sahel states to place its air and anti-air defenses on maximum alert with authorization. The alliance includes Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And that is how we wrap up on News Tonight this evening. Now, do note that our earlier story on the Attorney General will be brought to you in a subsequent bulletin here on GHOne TV. However, you can also find it on our website, starfm.com.gh, and our online platforms on Facebook and X, as well as Instagram. Thank you so much for watching News Tonight this evening. It was produced by Bernice Abubedu Lanza. I'm Natalie Fort. Have a wonderful evening.